Good day, everybody, and welcome back to the flight deck. It's been a few weeks since we've been up. I've been away, but we're back now, and we're going to give it a shot as we carry on our tour of the U.S. states. So we're currently sitting at Centennial Airport just outside of Denver, Colorado, and today's flight's going to take us south down to Santa Fe, New Mexico. It's about an hour and 40 minutes of flying time once we're up in the air. It's a little bit windy out here in the Midwest of the U.S. right now. Good 18 to 20 knots. But looks like the wind's blowing fairly straight up the runways, both here and down in Santa Fe. Maybe 15-20 degree cross, but shouldn't be too bad. And ATC has been on and off. We'll see if they pop up. They're currently offline at the moment where we are, and we'll see what we end up getting. We're going to be flying this de Havilland Dash-7 up to 16,000 feet for today's flight. As you can see, there she is. We're sitting on the ramp here, and we're going to be taking off to the south. Alright, so let's jump on board. We'll get back over into our regular seat here, and let's see if we go through the list, make sure we got everything, and we have remembered what we're doing here. So we'll pull up our cockpit safety check. So parking brakes are on, throttle levers are at flight idle, control lock is now on, condition levers are in fuel shut off. Hey, flight designs. Yeah, I'm still recovering from it. The COVID was pretty much done before I got back, but man, it took so much out of me. I'm still trying to get my energy back during the day and everything, but I'm doing a bit better. My voice is back more or less normal, so we're going to give it a shot here. So flaps are up and indicating up. Come up to the batteries are off, battery masters are all off, wipers are off, we got the windshield heat in off, circuit breakers are all checked, weather radar is an op, and the oxygen quantity and mass have all been checked. Alright, so let's get the aircraft up and ready to go. So we're going to pop up to the overhead panel now. We'll turn the battery master on, the AC generator master on, and the DC generator master is now on. Right and left batteries are now both on, and DC external power is on. DC load and AC amps and DC volts are all good. I know there's a newer release to the aircraft. I haven't installed it yet, but we should be okay with the one we got here. Flight data recorder is in normal. ELT is now set to on. We'll get the lights up into the mid position where I like them. Alright. Oh. A little too aggressive there. I think that's my mouse that's slowly dying on me. Internal lights and lighting panels are set. Fuel T handles are all pushed. And fire and smoke warning tests are done. Pop back down here. Windshield heat is off. And the wipers are off. Airframe de-ice is all off. Pitot-static heaters are all off, and propeller de-ice is off. Battery temperatures are fine. They are looking good. Position lights are now on. Engine ignitions are all set to normal, 1 through 4. Fuel transfer is off, and the fuel transfer valves are closed. Fuel quantity is checked and good. Engine start selector is off, and engine start button is off. Cabin pressurization is set to auto. AC external power is off. Inverter set to left bus. AC generators 1 through 4 are off. And I'll come down here to the bleeds. Bleeds for 1 through 4 are off. Temperature controls are set to auto for both the flight compartment and the cabin. Fast seatbelt signs are on, no smoking sign is on, and the emergency exit lights are now armed. So let's start getting the passengers on board. 48 passengers today. And here they come. So moving down to the center console, we check our clocks. It is 1:35 local time. Flight taxi switch is set to taxi. GPWS lights are all off. Yaw damper is normal and guarded. Flight director test. Flight directors come on both sides. Landing lights and taxi lights are all off. PFCF switches are normal. Autopilot set to captain. Caution and advisory lights. We'll put on the caution lights. They are all looking good. And advisory lights are all looking good as well. Secret phase is off. Anti-skid is now on. Alright, over to the captain's side. Steering is good. Stall speed and overspeed warnings would test, but they don't actually do anything. Flight instruments are all checked. Altimeter, let's get the current weather. Yeah, Chris, I've downloaded it. I just haven't installed it yet. That'll be something I do probably tomorrow, so it should be up and going by Friday for Friday's flight. Alright, here's the current weather here in Denver area at Centennial Airport. Winds are 150 at 15, gusting 20. We're going to be taking off on 17, so that's going to be fine. 10 miles of visibility. There's some few clouds and scattered layers as we move up to our flight level. Currently 18 degrees, and 2969er will be our barrel, so we'll get that in. 2969, and we'll slide over, and we'll get Rogers in. He's out doing the walk around. 2969er is dialed in on that side as well. All right. DMEs can come on. Get them on both sides. Of course, will be a DME2 on Rogers' side and DME1 on mine. Compass is set to slave. Hydraulic quantities are good, and we have brake pressure, and static source selector is set to normal. Onto the main panel here. Our cruising altitude today will be 16,000 feet. We do have some of the mountain ranges to go over, so that will be a good altitude for us. And 16,000 feet is set. Prop auto feather is off. Engine intake deflectors are retracted. Entry instruments are all checked and looking good. Landing gear mute horn is good. Everything lights up. Pitch and roll disconnect handles are in and locked. Weather radar is not working. We do have automated auto ATC transponder code of 5641, so we'll get that dialed in.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. This is your flight attendant speaking. At this time, please be sure to make sure all large
so 5641 is in.
Small items are underneath the seat in front of you.
That's a North American thing right now. For comms. Now the CTAF frequency here.
After you put your carry-on items in the overhead bin and it is full, make sure you close it as a courtesy to other passengers. Also be sure that the aisle is clear and sit down so that way other passengers can get by you. If you're seated in an emergency exit row, please review the exit seating responsibilities and the safety card provided for you. Please make sure that you are able and willing to perform these actions. If you're not, please let a flight attendant know so that way you can be received.
For our guard channel.
Now's the time to get out any last-minute text messages if you need to, but we ask that once we depart from the gate, you put away any laptops or tablets. Thank you, and welcome
Flight
aboard.
instruments are all set. Roll spoiler switch is set, and avionics cooling. That's all over here on the FO side. We'll get his lights turned up for him while he's still outside, and we'll do ours as well for the side panel here. Down at the pedestal, parking and emergency brakes are on. Throttle levers are set flight idle. Control lock is engaged. Condition levers are set to fuel shutoff. Flaps are in agreement. We are flap 0 and indicating 0. Flight idle gate is closed and the light is on. The autopilot yaw dampers switches are off. Trims are set for takeoff. Come down here and take a look, and we can see it there. Alright, so that is all that done. Now we can do our ATC clearance, and ATIS, well, we know our ATIS. We're going to be taking off on runway 17 left and heading straight out. What we're going to do now is set up our nav radios and our initial nav headings. So I'm going to pop in here to our flight log for today. The first VOR we're going to head off to is the BRK VOR. It is approximately 38 miles away, and it is a frequency of 112.5. So we'll get that dialed in. 112.5 is in. Oh, you can see it's already picking it up. Second one is going to be the ALS VOR of 113.9, which it's already set in there. So we're going to set that one up in here now. 113.9. And the next one after that will be the TAS VOR of 115.8. And we'll set that in there. Hey, Brian. How's everything? Doing any traveling lately? All right, so those are set up. So the first heading we're going to want off to the BRK VOR is approximately a heading of 162 degrees. So we're going to come in here and dial this around to 162. For when we intercept the VOR. And that radial. So there's 162 is set. And then if we pull up our charts, the runway heading is 170. So we can come in here and turn our heading indicator around to 170. So we're basically going to turn off, and then we'll make a left-hand turn to intercept that radial. It sounds like everybody
ready to go when you are.
Is on board in the back. So that is now set up over there. We're also going to come in, make sure we switch our needles over to VOR instead of ADF. All right. So that is all done. So it sounds like all the passengers are on board and everything is clear. Fuel truck is leaving. We are all fueled up and ready to go. So we're going to pop over to the back of the aircraft here, make sure the door is now closed. We're going to pop back up front and get ready for our engine start. So takeoff data and speeds are confirmed. We will be rotating at about a 92 knots, 15-degree flaps for the takeoff today.
Will be roughly 1 hour and 17
Doors and windows are all closed.
Now that the cabin door is closed, please make sure that all devices are in airplane
is
mode
now
and
set
your large
on
devices
and
are now
is
shut down
red.
and stowed.
Parking and emergency brakes are set. Power levers are flight idle, fuel condition levers are shut off. DC generators for all 4 engines are now coming on. Oh, you're up in the nice part of southern Ontario. That's cool. Alright, we're good. We're not going to be doing a pushback. We're just going to start here on the stand and then we'll just taxi straight out. So we're good to go. We're starting engines 3, 4, 2, 1. So we'll switch over to engine 3 and clear 3. Alright, we have engine 3 starting to come up. We're starting to get rotation up to 20%. Adding fuel.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the flight attendants for a safety demonstration. When the seatbelt light is fastened, please make sure that your
once this gets up through 70%, we'll be able to turn the starter off.
The metal fittings into one another and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap.
There we go.
Release your seatbelt with the upper portion of the buckle.
And we're going to come over and start engine number 4. Clear 4.
As you may experience unexpected turbulence. There are several
yeah, I've got no more trips planned until June when I head down to Vegas for flights in Expo.
Please refer to the safety card in the seat back pocket in front
rotation.
In some cases, your nearest exit
props
might be
are starting to spin. There's 20%.
Or sliding on the floor to
fuel.
guide you towards the exit. In the event of a loss of cabin pressure, an oxygen mask will drop in front of you. Start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you, and place it firmly over your nose and mouth. Secure the elastic band behind your head and tighten the straps if necessary. And don't worry if the bag doesn't inflate. Oxygen is flowing to the mask, and you can breathe normally.
Everything is good. Here's 70%. Starters off. Over to engine number 2.
Keep your mask on until a member of the crew advises you it's safe to remove
Looking
it.
good.
In the event that the pilot decides to take us for a swim, a fashionable life vest is located in a pouch.
Engine rotation starting.
Armrest. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the vest. Slip it over your head. Wrap the straps around your waist and buckle at the front. Pull the strap to tighten. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting the aircraft. If your life vest does not inflate automatically, blow into the mouthpieces for manual inflation. Each vest is equipped with a whistle and light. If necessary, your seat cushion can be used as a secondary flotation device. Once again, all devices must be in airplane mode and your larger devices must be turned off and stowed at this time.
There we go.
Please securely stow your personal items.
Starters off, selecting engine number 1. There we go, we'll get an outside view for this one. Starting engine 1. There's our rotation. Quebec City, Montreal, cool. And that should be 20%. We'll add fuel. Yeah, I've got Vegas at the end of June for flights to Mexico. That's just a 4-day weekend. And then I'm off to England at the beginning of July, and then off to Norway at the end of July. So a busy couple months, 2 months of travel coming up. I've updated the scenery and everything with AccuSeasons Advanced, so we should see some nice green stuff and some colors starting to come up. Right there, 70% there, so the starter can come off. So that's all 4 engines are up and running. I don't know. I want to finish this one, and then while I'm here and away, I'm going to be flying the CH-47 chopper, doing some live streams with that. And then I think we're looking at getting back into the DC-6 for some long, doing a trip from north to south in that one. I will be doing some flights in the 737 cargo. Not sure if they're going to be streamed or not. I might just record them as videos to put out when I'm away. I'm not sure yet. But I'm kind of a completionist, so I want to complete this series. So anyway, parking brake is on. Start selector is set to off. DC external power is now off. DC volts and load is good. Battery temperatures are fine. AC generators are on 1 through 4. Bleeds are now coming on as well. There's all 4 bleeds on the engines. So popping down here to the main panel, flight directors will now come on both sides. PFCS lights are off. Engine auto feather is cell green. Engine intake deflectors are retracted. Engine instruments are all checked, and everything is looking good. Hydraulic quantities and pressures are up in all 3 systems. Weather radar is off. Flaps set for takeoff 15 degrees. And this is the one where it's there's an error here with the animations and stuff. So set to 15. I know it's 15. That's fine. Flight controls. We'll do our check. Forward, back, right, left. Just looking for First Officer Molly. She's kind of sitting around at the bottom. Yeah, maybe we'll do some airliner stuff in August. I know Kevin wants to join in with the DC-6, and he's not back until the end of August, I think, or it's early September. So that's fine. We can put off on that. So maybe we'll do some summertime flying in the 737, and you can come in with the 320. Where was I? Flight controls are checked. Trim set for takeoff. Yaw damper switch is now on. De-ice pressure is checked. Red equipment and chocks are removed. Engines 1 and 4 will go up to maximum RPM. Taxi light is on. All right, let's head down. Denver Centennial Airport, Allegheny 32 on the ramp, taxiing runway 17 left via the apron, Alpha 6 Alpha to Alpha 1. Alright, so the brakes. I don't know why we suddenly rolled forward. I hadn't released the brakes. Alright, let's taxi out. Yeah. That's going to be a fun series. We're traveling from London down to Cape Town, South Africa. And it's going to be on VATSIM. Basically do a VOR navigation. But the one I'm using is a modern day DC6, so it's going to have a GPS installed just for ease of navigating. But the routes will be VOR based. Let's get around here. And we're going to head up to the end here. So we're looking good. We're taxiing down. We're almost up to the end of the runway. You can see some color on the trees, some nice pinks. I guess those are cherry blossoms coming out. I noticed in Toronto a couple days after I got back, I was out, went by a park that's Japanese themed, and all the cherry trees were in full blossom, which was nice to see. Clouds moving in a little bit to our north, but we're okay. We're going to be heading to the south. All right, we'll pull up here at the hold line. There we go. So, let me get my mouse over here. Windshield heat will go to warm up. Pitot-static heaters will all come on. Engine bleeds are on low. Ignitions are set to normal. Auxiliary fuel pumps for engines 1 through 4 are now on. Flight taxi switch to flight. Auto feather is cell green. Intake deflectors are retracted. Control locks are confirmed. Off. Condition levers all 4 to maximum RPM. Flaps are set 15 degrees. Flight controls are checked. Elevator trim is set for takeoff. Caution lights are checked. Or ground spoilers, that's fine. And the cabin is ready. So ATC clearance we'll take as we have. We will come down here now and transponder on, and mode C. Weather radar is in-op, so we're not going to worry about that. Landing lights are on, anti-collision light goes to white, and strobe lights are now on. Denver Centennial Airport, Allegheny 32, lining up runway 17 left. Alright, let's get out there. Get ready for our departure. Approach path is clear. whole bunch of airport going into not Denver itself, another airport. Not sure which one that is. Yampa Valley. There's a whole lineup of airplanes going in there. Must be an event going on. Alright, we are set. So, we are lined up. Brakes are on. All 4 engines confirmed. Maximum RPM. Engine intake deflectors are retracted. Power levels coming up to 32. Those brakes in. Engine's coming up. Auto feather arm. Ground spoilers are off. There's the arm. We're all set. Going up to 4,800 RPM for takeoff. Or whatever we can get at this altitude. We are kind of high. And brakes released. Denver Centennial Airport, Allegheny 32 rolling, runway 17 left, departure to the south. There's 90 knots. We're going to add a little bit of back pressure. There's the flight idle gate is now closed. Gonna take off positive rate, gear up. Try to let that speed increase to about 105. Autopilot is on. Heading and indicated airspeed. Alright, flaps can come up. You can see we're not too far off our course for the VOR. So once we hit 7,000 feet, we were going to go over and turn to intercept, and we are 42 miles away. There we go. And we're just going to keep climbing out. All right, there's 8,000 feet. 8,000 to go. Alright, so we're going to set climb power now. We're going to reduce our power levers back to 3,500. Roughly. And we're going to bring the RPM for the props down to 107. Somewhere about there, and then we're going to bring the engines up to 4,400. We can go a little bit over. It's going to drop off as we climb, so that's fine. Hope with the update they fix these fluttering gauges. It's a little bit annoying. There's our climb power now set. Landing gear is confirmed up. Flaps are confirmed up. Auto feather does its own thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now passing through 10,000.
Intake deflectors are retracted. Flight idle gate is confirmed in. Taxi light is off.
Reminder,
we're through 10,000 feet. We'll turn the landing lights off as well. Ignitions are fine. Normal. Auxiliary fuel pumps will come off. Engine bleeds are low. Cabin is pressurizing fine. We're not going to do transition, but passenger signs can now come off in the back.
The flight crew has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. You can now get up and move about the cabin. However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when needed in case of unexpected
And you can see some of the higher terrain we'll be going over shortly. So that's why we got to get up to that 16,000 feet. once we get the VOR needle in, we'll switch over to nav mode. Actually, we can do that now. We're pretty close there. There's 12,000 feet. Good rate of climb, 1,400 feet per minute, which is what you'd expect. So the next VOR is 111 miles away. That's a bit far, especially down here at 16,000 feet where we're going to be cruising. So we'll probably fly the outbound radial on this VOR, and the outbound radial is going to be 201 degrees. So basically when we get down to BRK, we'll just dial around to 201 and we'll just follow that radial outwards until VOR2 kicks in. Alright, as we come up on 14,000 feet, we'll click altitude select. So we're going to go into capture mode at 16,000 feet. I know that's one of the things they talked about in the last update was smoothing out some of the capturing behaviors. We're looking good. Good rate of climb going, and we do have a fully loaded aircraft as well. There's now two's come up, so we'll be able to just switch over directly to that one then. Less than 1,000 to go, and again we're going to want a heading of 201 degrees. There's it clicking over to capture at 16,000. So we're going to be setting our power levels. Power levels are set through the props. So the props will be at 107, which is where they are right now, which is perfect. And then we are going to set our power not by a torque number, but by a fuel consumption. And at 16,000 feet in this aircraft and these engines, the fuel consumption is going to be 370 pounds per hour. So where we get that is if we look here, there's our 4 fuel gauges for all 4 engines, currently at about 390 pounds per hour. But what we're going to do is we're going to pull back and bring these down to 370. So we've leveled off pretty much. So we're going to bring these back now. So we're just going to ease all 4 throttles back until we get 370. Which is, if we zoom in, we want to be between these two. So that's 60, 80, and then 40, 400. So we're just going to ease them back right to about there. And now all 4 of them are in. That's 370 pounds per hour. And we are in cruise power setting. And we come down here and look at our ground speed. You can see we're, because we're heading directly to the VOR, this is a pretty accurate ground speed indicator. 205 knots over the ground. All our calculations are based at 200 knots, so we're doing slightly better than normal there. So we're 18 miles out from the next VOR. So we're going to take our heading bug, get that lined up, ready to go. Because at about 10 miles out, we're going to switch over to heading mode and then reset our VORs.
In a few moments, we'll be starting our in-flight service. We'll be serving complimentary drinks and snacks. Please look in your seat back for a list of complimentary and premium drinks. Premium drinks are available for a small charge. If you wish to make an additional purchase, we only accept credit cards.
So this is the town of Colorado Springs coming up. We're pretty much going to fly over top of it. The VOR is up here on the northeast end, and then we're going to angle across and head off in that direction down over the mountains. This nice views in the back. A little bit noisy in these airplanes with the engines. That's what made the Q400 such a big improvement. They're a lot quieter than the Dash-8 100s and 300s, and of course the Dash-7s as well. Looking very nice. So we're cruising along here. Alright. 12.5 miles out. See what we can do. Hello, Molly. Oh no, you can't go under there. Come on, out you get. Out you get. Come on, out you go. You can lie down there, but you can't go underneath. Okay. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. I know. I'm working. Yeah, we're flying. It's been a while since we've done this. Alright, there's 9 miles. We're going to switch over to heading mode. We're going to come down here. We're going to switch over our VOR. We're going to go to VOR 2, which is the 113.9, and we're going to want to set a heading of 201. There we go. So when that comes in, we will switch back over to nav and we'll fly that out. So the next one after the 1139 is 1158. So we'll get that dialed in. 1158, and we'll come over here and we will select 1158 over onto VOR2. So when we get within range, that'll come up. And then the next one is the Santa Fe VOR of 1006. There we go. So that's now in. Just keeping an eye on this coming in for the intercept. So looking at the weather down in Santa Fe, winds are currently favoring runway 20. If we look at the airport, yeah, 20 is the big runway, and if we look at the charts, no, there's no ILSs for that, but I think we're going to do the visual, but that's fine. It's going to be straight in, kind of down over the town, and then it will just kind of go straight in for the runway. So that is all good. Airport elevation is 6,300 feet. So again, we've only got to lose about 10,000 feet. So we're only going to need about 50 miles to descend. So just after we cross the TAS VOR, we'll start our descent downwards. I think that'll work. What we'll do now is we'll take a look at our route as we are cruising along here. And we're almost turn. So here's our route. We've left KAPA, which is the Centennial Airport. We're coming down here towards the BRK VOR here at Colorado Springs. We're going to make this a little bit of a turn, and we're going to fly out towards the mountains, and then basically we're going to head down this valley here, down towards Santa Fe itself, as you can see right there. So it should be a good one. Just when we're slightly past the TAS VOR, we will begin our descent, and that will work out very well. Right now we're almost about to make our turn. We're almost in on the VOR there. And while we're waiting for that, let's see what they've done here on the music side. We'll go a little bit of lo-fi in the background. There we are. We're pretty much in, so we'll go nav, and we'll head off on that radial now. And there's Colorado Springs down below us. We're in capture mode. There we go. We're capturing the VOR now. Let me just check the sound level on that music. Sounds good. Decent level anyway. Alright, so we got about a 111 mile run here down to the ALS VOR. So a little bit of programming notes as we come in. I will be streaming straight through May, and that will be Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and maybe some Saturdays. Brian maybe will pull out the 737 on the weekends on a couple of the weekend days I'm available, and we can do a couple flights with that. But yeah, we'll go to there, and then the first couple weeks of June I'm around, so we'll be streaming through there as well. Then, as I mentioned, I take off for Flight Sim Expo at the end of June. And that is a 4-day weekend, leaving on the Thursday and coming back on the Monday, so there won't be any streaming on the days around that. But I'm hoping to get some good information to share with you guys in regards to Flight Sim 2024 and some of the other stuff we'll be seeing as well. And then about a week after that, I head over to England, meeting up with Nick and Dark Fury and Kevin and J-Hog and a bunch of others, and doing some family stuff over there as well. And then once I'm back, I've got about a week or so, and then heading out to where am I going? Heading to Norway for a week into early August. So we have that. I may have family staying with me in July, and that might affect my streaming then as well. I'm not sure yet. probably will. And then I'm around until towards the end of September when I'm away again. So it's a busy traveling year for me as well. Next year is going to be pretty busy as well. So, but it's all good. We'll get some good flying in. So again, hoping to get some good information for the new sim. One bit of good news I read today, and I think they put it out a couple days ago. Fly UK will be bringing the A380 into service. They're bringing in 6 airframes. So it looks like when either the Inabuilds or the fly-by-wire A380 is released, it will be available through Fly UK. So we will be seeing that aircraft, and we will be doing some long haul flights with it. We'll see what their schedule for it comes up as. I think that could be a fun one. Apparently they're also bringing in the A350 as well, so I'm not sure who's bringing that out for Microsoft Flight Simulator, if there is anybody. It could be for X-Plane, I don't know. But that's another option that's going to be coming. So, Brian, this weekend I cannot stream. I've got too many things going on. But next weekend, if you are available, we could look at doing maybe a Saturday stream. And do some flying in Europe. Fly the cargo 737, you can fly the A320, and we can do some runs over there. Alright, just checking everything out. We are level, and we got a good airspeed. We're down to 188 on our ground speed. Yeah, we're flying into the wind here. Flying into the headwind. Yeah, I think we're going to be doing that for probably the rest of this flight, given the way we're going to be flying to the airport. Doing good. We're about a quarter of the way in. Keeping an eye on everything and monitoring. So we're about an hour out, according to our info at the top of the screen. It may change slightly when we make the turn at ALS. If we had I think we're going to be heading a little bit more directly into the wind, but we'll see. See the Rockies coming up. We're going to be passing over that that bit there, and then on the other side of that ridge is that valley we're going to be flying down. We head down towards Santa Fe. cloud layer to the north of us, but the south is looking pretty clear. Oh, I don't think I've ever been on an Embraer. Been on a Fokker 100. I did that flight from Vienna to, where did I go to? I think it was up to Manchester. I don't think I've been on an Embraer. I certainly haven't been on Porters. They do park in the boonies at Toronto, yeah. They've got that little terminal up by 23. I'm not even sure how you get to it. Flew back from San Diego last week on one of Air Canada's A321s, and boy, they're showing their age. Well-worn aircraft. It's got a yoke. Oh, yeah, it has a yoke, yeah. Cool. Yeah, a guy I know at the museum, he's flying the 6-7 freighter now for Air Canada, but he was flying the A220, and he said it was an interesting combination of Boeing type of stuff and Airbus type of stuff. An interesting cross mix. But he switched over to the 767 and went on the cargo side during COVID when they were looking for pilots for that. I think he's still doing that. I haven't seen him for a while. Got the mountains coming up. We are going to be kind of close. I'm just looking at the chart. We're going to be kind of close. The MSA to the north of us is 16.5. The MSA down here is 16.3. We're going to be cutting through here, so we're just going to be right at the bottom of the MSA for this range, I think. Should get some nice views. Have I been on the Jets plane? No, I haven't been on the Jets plane. Is that the one that's like all business class seats or something? Haven't been on that one, no. I've seen it, and I did get to fly. Was it 2 years ago? Maybe 2 years ago. I did get to fly on the retro A320, the Trans-Canada Airline livery, which you can't tell from inside, but. It's kind of neat walking up to the gate and looking at the jetway and seeing that thing sitting there. Yeah, I've seen photos of it, and I think I've seen it once in real life, taxi past, but haven't been on it, no. Done a couple A220 flights on Air Canada's ones. They were good. Still haven't been on an A350. Maybe next year. I'm still tempted to go to Dubai on the Emirates A380 out of Toronto for the experience. I was also thinking of doing the longest flight, the New York to Singapore, like 19 hours or whatever it is. I don't know if I can handle that. Thinking if I was going to go to Singapore, I'd almost want to go to like Vancouver or something and then take a layover just to get out, stretch the legs. Yeah, I know, but it's kind of that once in a lifetime thing. Oh, you're a smoker? Yeah. I used to be. It can be rough. Molly's pushing on the rudder pedals. She's kind of curled up asleep at my feet. Molly's birthday's coming up this month. She'll be 1 year old at the end of the month. I think we're gonna have to have a little doggy party for her. Oh, a little bit of turbulence here as we come over the hill, so we get the signs on in the back.
Please return to your seat as the seatbelt sign is now on.
So yeah, so my plan is we'll finish this series off, and then I'm going to fly the chopper, doing the tour of the Great Lakes. There's some more videos coming out about that, but I think I did all the intro videos for the CH-47 came out, and I know I saw the repositioning ones coming up when we flew it up to Mackinac Island. We're gonna do that for some fun. So if you're into helicopters or want to just come along in a little Cessna or something, that would be pretty good. And then yeah, we'll slide some other stuff in. I still got to figure out when Kevin gets back, and then when we're gonna start up the DC6 series. All right, so let's get this. Turn over 60 miles out. So basically it's out over there on the other side of this ridge line here. Alright, speed's up to 193, so it looks like the wind is shifting around slightly. Yeah, she's got a doggy spa appointment tomorrow. Getting the full works done. So she looks like a tomboy now. Her hair's long and all curly and stuff. When she comes out, she'll look like a little princess. So let's get an update on the weather down in Santa Fe. Alright, looks like we got a little bit of a change of winds here. Runway 20 is still being favored. Winds are currently 16 to 20 at 240, so it's going to be a bit of a cross. Skies are clear. It's 24 degrees, nice and warm. 2988 is the current barrel. So once we get over the ridge here, we're going to switch over to 2988 and go into local pressure for there. Town we're going to be flying by here is Alamosa. VOR is located a few miles outside of town to the south. So as we continue to cruise along here, hey Brian, no, thanks for dropping by, and yeah, I'll keep in touch and make sure that you're available if we're going to do those airliner flights. So come along. Have a great day. All right, so as we're coming up to the ridge here, just before we switch over to the pressure for Santa Fe on the altimeter, just the normal reminders. If you wouldn't mind and you want to help us out here, please hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does help boost up the channel and give us a little bit more visibility. Also, once we hit that 1,000 subscribers, monetization kicks in, and that of course will help with buying aircraft to show off and airports and stuff that we can fly to and take a look at, and all that neat stuff as we fly around the world. As well, you can throw a like on the video to help us as well, and don't forget to consider leaving a comment if you're watching this after the live stream. I do answer to all the comments I get. If you have any questions or anything, please feel free to ask. And if you want to take that extra step for the price of about a latte a month, you can join the channel, give us a hand, and help us grow and build our little community. Now, if you want more information about the flight sim, the aircraft we fly, what we fly, where we fly, you can always come over to our Discord, which the bot has now put the link in, and you can also find it in the description. On the Discord, you'll find out information about what we're flying, when and where, and how you can join us, because all of our flights are community level flights. So invite everyone along if you want to fly. So you can find out when, where, what aircraft we're flying, if we're on multiplayer or VATSIM. And Molly's looking at me and she's hearing me talk. And you can come along. We're currently streaming Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we're going to do a little bit of weekend stuff as well when I'm available over the next several weeks before I go away again. So that is all open to you. You can get information on the Discord. If you need help with aircraft, if you need help with the sim, we've got people there that are able to assist as well, and pretty well knowledgeable if you have any questions. And if you just like flying around the world, you can get the information, like I said, and you can come along and join us on the flights. We're just about to come out of the range here. You can see the higher mountains off to our north there and a little bit to the south. Coming in at an angle there. So I've got a ground speed of 192, which is not too bad considering we're kind of flying into the wind at the moment. We'll see if that's going to decrease down anymore. Again, the coloring and the foliage and trees and plants and everything are provided by Rex AccuSeasons Advanced, and it's giving us a look at how she is at this particular point in time. So we made it over the mountains. Of course, being in the back of an aircraft like this from the 70s, you'd have no in-flight entertainment or anything. It's in-flight magazine or whatever book you happen to bring, or newspapers. That used to be the big thing. Getting on board the aircraft, they'd offer you a couple newspapers that you could take with you and read. VOR2 is not picking up the next VOR, which is fine. So we're doing a little bit of a crab there along the radial, dealing with that wind. We're about 35 miles out from the ALS VOR. There's the range on the other side. So we're going to come out here. There's the town. And we're basically going to fly out this way and then make the turn and head down the valley here. That should keep us clear of the rest of the mountains. Looking good. So just checking on VATSIM, there is no, well, the nearest ATC currently is Fort Worth Center. That's over in Texas. I'm not heading over there. Both Denver and Santa Fe, or Albuquerque, I think it is, are offline at the moment. Is it Albuquerque? Yeah, it's Albuquerque. And again, we're going to be going straight in, so once we get through the TAS VOR, we'll begin our descent downwards. She's a little bit bumpy here as we come over the edge of the ridge. Too bad. It's rocking slightly. We're up to 199 knots, so that's not too bad. We're dealing with that headwind. Beautiful day out, other than the slight turbulence from the wind. Got a little bit of cloud to the north, but down here it's looking very nice. See the ridge line we're going over. So once again, the purpose of this series was to visit all of the state capitals in the lower 48. Some of the places we're going into, we're visiting two different places in each state. Not sure why they've planned it out that way, but it's all good. Everything is looking good. We're coming out of the hills here. You can see some of the farming area down here. Irrigation discs where the pivots go around. There, I believe the town is just over here. And again, we're heading in towards the VOR, which is located in this area over here. So we're 17 miles out. We're tracking inbound. We'll get ready to switch over. VOR2 is not picking it up, so we're going to use the outbound radial for TAS, which is going to be 177 degrees. heading off down this way here between the two ridges. So we're down to 14 miles. We're on the heading. So we'll switch over to heading mode. We can now dial in 177. There we go. And we'll sit on that. I've got a feeling the TAS VOR is a low frequency VOR or low power VOR, which means it's going to be about 30-40 miles out before we pick it up. From the ALS VOR, we have about 45 miles. So somewhere around there, it should kick in, but we'll hold off until we're settled in on our outbound, and then we can switch over. That will be 1158. That is correct. So after the TAS VOR, we got about 65 miles to run down to the airport. So as soon as we pass over that one, we'll start getting ourselves set up for our descent into the Santa Fe area. And again, it's going to be a visual approach to runway 20. Should switch that over. So we'll get the frequency now for there. So we'll ask VATSIM what the frequency is for Santa Fe Airport. It's 1195. Not sure that's correct. I'm at 1195. That is now set. Hi, Molly. Yeah, we'll go out in a bed. Okay, we'll go out in a bed. See, what I might do is, once we make the turn down here, and we get set up on the next leg, 45 miles, I'll take Molly downstairs. Come back up, we should be ready to start planning for our descent. Still running inbound. 4 miles to go. Hi. I'll take you downstairs in a sec. Okay. All right. 2.5 miles out. What I'll do is I'm just, once we hit the point where this flips, I'm just going to dial over onto that heading, and then we'll let the aircraft turn and pick up the outbound radial. Very interesting landscape out here in this part of the world. There's the flip. There we go. And in she comes. Hi, Malls. Yeah, I'll be with you in a sec. Over to nav mode. Just gotta pick it up. There we go. So we're heading down to TAS now. I'm going to take First Officer Molly out, and I will be right back as the aircraft settles in. And we will see you in a few minutes. So we're heading down towards TAS VOR. You can actually see it over there. So we're going to want 177. We're going to go into heading mode. And just turn that off. And there we go. We're going to switch over to the 1139. That's now on. And there's our heading. So we're going to just dial this around until we get locked in on the proper heading. Hit our nav. We're picking up that one. And we get it in there. So the Santa Fe VOR is the next one we're going to want. And that is going to be on a frequency of 110.6. So 110.6. We've already got it set up over here in nav 2, so we're going to click over on that one, 110.6. Not picking it up yet, which is fine. Again, it might be another low power VOR. So we're going to head down here to the TAS VOR, and then we'll fly the outbound on that one as well. And again, we are a 65-mile run. So we're going to be looking at runway 20. Weather conditions down at Santa Fe currently are good. Weather 240, 16, gusting 22. We're landing on runway 22. 10 miles of visibility. Skies are clear. 24 degrees. 29er 88. So we're going to come in now and switch over to 29er 88 and get our altimeters in. Now we are doing a visual approach. So we don't really need minimums, but we're going to come down here and set minimums at 350 feet, just as a reminder indicator for ourselves of what we're going to need. A little bit of mist down there by the looks of it. Alright, now we've got 201 knots. We're heading directly into the VOR. So 180 degrees is going to be our outbound tracking course for the airport. That's roughly, the VOR is actually slightly east and south of the airport, but this will give us a good indication of we are doing a visual approach anyway. Alright, so we're down to 1.1 miles. We're just going to switch over to 1180. There we go. Now we'll just fly that outbound. And that should take us down to the airport. So as mentioned, the airport elevation is just over 6,000 feet. That means we have 10,000 feet to go. If you look at 5 miles per 1,000 feet, that's about 50 miles. We're going to want to be descending at 65-mile run. So basically, once we get the aircraft kind of settled in here, we will start to head downwards for our landing. You got to watch the terrain. It is a little higher up here, so we're going to wait until that's reads 15 miles, and then we'll start down. The way we're going to start down is we're going to pull the power back. Once we get to 150 knots on the indicated airspeed, we're going to make sure our IS is on, and then that will bring us down at 150 knots. Hey, J-Hog! How you doing? Doing well. Pretty much recovered, more or less. I think fighting COVID took a lot more out of me than I thought, so I do get tired midday, but I'm feeling better, and my voice is pretty much back, so that's all good. And it's nice to be back in the air as we're cruising along down here in New Mexico. How's things over there with you guys? Only a couple months and I'll be over and we'll be meeting up again. about 5 miles from starting our descent. And there is no traffic in the area that I can see. And if we pull up the list for the airport, no one going out. We're the only aircraft going in. So we got clear rain here. That is all good. Yeah, it's been a while. It's just a few days shy of a month since I've been on flying, so it's nice to be back up and going. Yeah, definitely got like a low-lying mist or something out here. We'll have to see what happens. Yeah, well, thanks for dropping in and saying hi, J-Hog. We'll catch up with you again. Ridge line here, and then I think the terrain drops down again. Seems to be where that haze is coming in. Wasn't reporting anything down there. Let me just see if there's an update now. Oh, looks like the sky's clear. Okay, take care. All right, but there's our 15 miles out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring the engines back. Set in a 7,500 foot altitude. So you're letting the aircraft slow down. And we're on Honeycomb right now, 122.8. Set area traffic, Allegheny 32 is approximately 50 miles to the north, leaving 16,000 feet inbound, straight in, runway 20 Santa Fe. There we go. So we're going to go into IAS mode, and we'll hold that 150 as we descend. And we're just going to monitor. See how we're doing.
We have begun our final descent into New Mexico. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in the full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the
seatbelt signs are still on. That's fine. We're going to go into heading mode here, just because we're going to move ourselves around to where we need to be as we come in. Given where the airport is, we're going to go a little bit further to the east here, so we can come in and pick up the airport appropriately. It looks like we're going to be going into the sludge there. Alright, so we can get ourselves all set up for our descent here. So the descent profile, we're descending at 150 knots, which is fine. So cabin pressurization is set to auto. Fuel quantities are all checked, and we're all good up there. Fuel transfer is off. Auto feather is off. Altimeters are set to local pressure at 2.8 or 2.988. Let me just do a double check on that. Sorry, 2.985 now. So we'll come in and make that alteration on both sides. There we go. 2985 is set. And landing lights and taxi lights. Well, we're actually below 10,000 feet from the ground, so we're going to turn the landing lights on now. And we'll ding the back just to make sure they're good there. And there's the other VOR is just kicked in. There's the Santa Fe VOR, but we're not really going to be using that at the moment. So we're about 40 miles out from the airport at the moment. Going to be flying by the little town of Espanola. It's going to be over here. Again, watching our altitude. We're only about 8,000 feet off the ground at the moment. Making sure we keep ourselves far enough out that we can line up properly. Outside of Espanola, and there's their airport. Santa Fe is just further down here, but the way the one-way runs is this way, so we're going to want to come in so we can turn and do our final approach. Now we're going to be landing on a 8,000-foot runway. We're going to be at 6,350 feet. Speed up a little bit, so we're just going to be doing a flaps 45, but going a little bit quicker. Good. Stand by altimeter there. 285 is set. Good. About 30 miles out, so we're going to switch over to the CTAF frequency now. Santa Fe area traffic, Allegheny 32, 13,300, descending inbound from the north for runway 20 Santa Fe. Give me a visual approach. It's all our navs and stuff here. There's one ILS, but it's on the other side, 02 side of the runway, not the 20 side. Alright, we're looking good. We'll dial back around this way a little bit. Hey, Gillerm, thanks for the sub. Greatly appreciated. I was happy to see new faces here. Molly, what are you doing? I just just took you downstairs. You'll get your dinner shortly. I have to land the airplane. Okay? You're just gonna have to wait. Alright. Molly's getting anxious for dinner. Alright, I think we're pretty good on this heading. No, I know. You're just gonna have to wait for dinner. Okay? Alright, so once we're down on runway 20, it's going to be a left-hand departure. Hopefully I can make it by Golf or Foxtrot, and then we'll be right at the terminal at that point. There's an Air National Guard base on the other side, up a little bit, but shouldn't be an issue. There's 12,000 feet. To go. We're not descending very fast, so we're going to go into vertical speed mode. So I'm just going to push down. Try to get up around 800 feet per minute. I know. I'll get your dinner in a second. Okay. You be a good girl. We're going to lock her in at 7,500. So that'll give us just about 1,100 feet to play with. We're basically following this ridge line down. And then we will turn inbound for the airport. Looks like we've lost the other VOR, so we'll switch over to this one. It's fine. Again, that's about 5 miles south, so it's about 18 miles out. Just trying to calculate where I'm going to make my turn inbound. Coming up. I'll be with you in a minute. So down here where this road makes this little jaunt over the little town here, that's where we're going to turn inbound to roughly a 200 heading, and that should take us down towards the airport. 11,000 feet. So right about here, head over to heading of about 200. I think there's the airport right there, and there's Santa Fe. Alright, so slightly overshot. Alright, we're on a visual approach. Alright, so we are slightly high. That's fine, I can see the airport in sight. Santa Fe area traffic, Allegheny 32, Dash-7, 10 miles to the northeast, inbound runway 20, Santa Fe. Full RPM on the props. That'll help slow us down a little bit. fully back, the props are fully forward. Gonna go 1 notch flaps. We're gonna bring off the autopilot. Bringing in drag. Get the gear down. Going to be landing at about 90. Just a big runway there. Watch that wind turbine. Trim, get that speed start coming back. Santa Fe area traffic, Allegheny 32, 5 mile final, runway 20, Santa Fe. We should be able to clear the turbine okay. It's a stupid place to put a turbine off the approach path of a runway. Flaps 25. I'm going to come down at about 100. And flaps 45. Flaps down, gear down, taxi lights on, landing lights on, cabin's notified. It's 100 knots. Come in over the turbine. Turbine now, turn on final, get this lined up. With that wind. Back. There's 90. Don't float it. There we go, 60 knots. And we're down.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to New Mexico. The local time is 3:20 p.m. and it's currently about 77 degrees Fahrenheit. You can now use your mobile
We'll get off a Gulf.
Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening
For some reason, this is saying Alpha.
May have shifted during the flight.
Generic airport.
And we hope to see you again soon.
Ourselves over here, and we can do our post landing. Santa Fe area traffic, Allegheny 32 is clear, runway 20 at Gulf, taxiing to the apron. All right. Control lock is now engaged. Condition levers for runways 2 and 3 are into feather. Flaps are up. Anti-collision light goes to red. Landing lights are off. Strobe lights are off. Engine intake deflectors are retracted. Windshield heat is off. Pedostatics are off. Ground flight taxi switch to taxi yaw damper is off. And that is good. So let's taxi in. Let's go in front of the terminal building. Yep, thank you. Well, it wasn't perfect. I did float it a little bit, but we got her down. All right, this will do. All right, so we are parked. So brakes are set. Engines are in disconnect. Bring both sets down into feather. Brakes. Hello, brakes. There we go. All right, taxi light is off. Power levers are flight idle. Condition levers are in feather. Radar is off. DMEs are now off. And we can shut down the engines. Anti-collision light is off. Position light will stay on. Passengers signs come off. That's armed. External power is now connected. AC generators are off. And that is good. Anti-skid will come off. We'll head to the back and open the door. And there goes everybody. Well, welcome to Santa Fe, New Mexico. It's a rather windy approach, but we made it down. Gilliam, thank you very much for subscribing, and you're welcome for the flight. It is good to be back. Almost a month away, as I was away on holidays, but we are good. We'll see you in the next one, which will be on Friday. We're going to be flying out of here in Santa Fe, and we're heading into Texas. So hope to catch you then. And once again, thank you all for watching. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.